Market Makers anchor Stephanie Ruhle attended the event and sat down with BuzzFeed CEO Jonah Peretti. Steph started by asking him if BuzzFeed is starting to attract an older audience.
It's hard to say because our young audience is still growing quickly, and so, but my gut feeling is that we're starting to see a little bit of a shift. And really, we look at it on the level of individual posts. So if we do a post about parenting or something like that, we'll see it reach an older audience where people have kids, and if we do a post about signs that you miss your senior year of high school or something, it'll skew to a younger audience.
In the last year, do those traditional media icons want your intel, want your time, want to understand how your business works? Could we see BuzzFeed become part? You have a partnership with CNN, but could we see you be part of these iconic traditional media brands?
There's an intense amount of interest in what we're doing. I mean, we hear from people at big media companies, and we also hear from people at small startup companies who are doing businesses in the space. And so, it's definitely it's definitely fun to have people watching what we're doing and appreciating what we're doing and valuing it. It was something that a few years ago, a couple of years ago, we weren't really on anyone's radar. And so, it's a different moment for us where we're able to operate and also have an influence on the larger industry where people see what we do and get inspiration from it.
Do you have a dream partner?
A dream partner?
Yeah.
Like my wife, or?
So nice. Like, we'd love to work with.
Yes.
Bloomberg, a dream partner.
Bloomberg is a great company. I mean, we tend to take the approach of making content ourselves. We work with lots of brands collaboratively to make content, and that's 100% of our revenue comes from branded content. So we have a lot of partners who are marketers and major brands. We work with 76 of the top 100 brands now, and so that's where we do a lot of deep partnerships. On the content side, we feel like the social platforms are great partners, and it's less about having contractual agreements and more about having aligned interests to make the news feed and streams and content streams of all the social platforms better by creating really great content that can be shared across the social web.
Do you have a favorite BuzzFeed list ever?
About people you can't believe actually exist. That's pretty hilarious.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, which is, more like actually kind of laughing out loud sort of thing.
How do you find these extreme people you can't believe exist, animals that look like monsters? How do you find the most extreme?
I mean, part of it is having a team of people who are really, live and breathe the web and who meet in small groups and brainstorm ideas. A lot of the lists you see are the product of an internal email list of BuzzFeed's team where people are throwing ideas around and saying, oh, have you seen this? Have you seen this? And so, and then having the data feedback of what people are sharing helps us understand, well, what do people really love? If they're sharing something a lot, why is that? And then you can do the thought process of saying, oh, maybe they're sharing it because there's corgis in it. Maybe they're sharing it because it's tied to a holiday like Father's Day. Maybe they're sharing it because of X, Y, or Z. And then you say, okay, well, let's test that. Make another piece of content that just has corgis but isn't about Father's Day. Or make another one that it's tied to a holiday but doesn't have, one of the other elements. And so you start to get better and better at understanding, what really touches people's heads and hearts and funny bones, and how do we make some the things that people are really going to get excited to share.
BuzzFeed CEO Jonah Peretti with Stephanie Ruhle at the Cannes Creativity Festival. Just looked up that 42 people you can't believe actually exist, and it is pretty epic on BuzzFeed.